All right, now we're doing 7Q Alphabetical Edition. This is by user 8436785, and 88% of people like it. Our task is to add up letters to one letter. The function will be given a variable amount of arguments, each one being a letter to add. Notes. The letters will always be lowercase. Letters can overflow. If no letters are given, the function should return z. So z is in effect 0 on this. And then here's some examples. So a plus b plus c, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals f, which is 6. A plus b equals c, so 1 plus 2 equals 3. Z equals z, z plus a equals a, 0 plus 1 equals a, and then so on. And then y plus c plus b equals d. So what is this? 3 plus 2 is 5. And then since it's y and it's overflowing, we're just going to subtract 1 and it'll be d. So basically, and then we have this thing right here. Start by converting letters to numbers. Add them up. Think about the overflow ourselves. Once that's done, we're going to convert it back to a letter. All right. Well, for this one, I do not want to write out a bunch of letters. We're going to use the UTF-16 code chart here. And lowercase a starts here at 97, and z is right here at 122. And so that's what we're going to use here. And as you can see, 96 is not anything but an apostrophe, all right? So basically for what we're going to do here, we're going to start off by using the reduce method on this. So the reduce method executes a user-supplied reducer callback function on each element of the array in order, passing in the return value from the calculation on the preceding element, if you didn't already know that. The final result of running the reducer across all elements of the array is a single value. The first time that the callback is run, there is no return value of the previous calculation. If supplied, an initial value may be used in its place, and we will be using an initial value here. And the easiest to understand case for reduce is returning the sum of all elements in an array. So basically, what we're going to be using as our syntax is going to be the arrow function syntax with previous value, current value, and we're also going to have the initial value after the comma. Excuse me, the initial value after the comma. All right? And this is the expression we're going to use also. And so let me show you what we're going to do. So first we're going to say, actually let's turn this into concise syntax, saying const add letters equals letters with a little spread syntax there. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to say console.log so we can test it easily. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to say letters.reduce, and we're going to have prev for previous and cur for current. And then after that, we're going to say, we're going to have the little initial value here, the 0. And then we're going to say prev plus cur. All right? Now the current value right now is a letter, right? So we have to turn this letter into a number so we can add it together. And to do that, we're going to use the charcode at method, all right? And if you don't know about the charcode at method, it returns an integer between 0 and this number, representing the UTF-16 code unit at the given index, right? And so basically when we turn them into codes, it's going to turn into like 97 for A, 105 for I, whatever, you know? So now that we've got that going on, we're going to say cur dot char code at, and we're going to have it at 0 because it's the current index for that particular letter, all right? So now we've got that. Let's test it out to see what it looks like right now. All right, so now we've got like 294, which is supposed to equal F, all right? So that's not going to work for us. But to fix that up, let's use the little remainder operator right here and say remainder operator 26 to see what will happen on that, okay? And as you can see, 8 for F, that's still not good enough for us. Actually, I didn't do this right. Let me back up. Let's come over here and let's say minus 96, since A starts on 97. All right, let's try that out. Test it out. All right, that's looking a little better. F is 6, Z is 26, whatnot, all right? Now let's try that thing out, like I said before, with the remainder operator 26, because as you can see here, it goes to 27 when it needs to be A. So let's say remainder operator 26, test it out. And it looks good, it looks good. Z is 0, but the thing is Z, if we add this together, say let's add the 96 back to it to put them into code form, the UTF-16 code form. Here's F. Let's see if F is 102, and it is. But let's go down here to Z. Is Z 96? No, apostrophe is 96. So we got to deal with that somehow. And the way we're going to deal with that is a little trick, okay? So after this one, let's just wrap this whole thing up right here in parentheses. And before we do this remainder operator, let's add 25 to it, all right? And let's bring this down just so we get a little more room. All right, so let's add 25 to it, all right? Test it out. All right, now we've got we've got 127 plus 96. I don't like that. Let's take the 96 out. Let's test it out. All right, now we've got 31 for F, okay? 51 for Z, whatnot, all right? Now let's see. Let me wrap this up in parentheses also. Now let's test it out, see what it looks like. All right, now that's looking better. So 5, we've got 25 for Z, 2 for C. So as you can see, they're all off by 1, which, you know, that's a good thing. That means we're on the way. So now let's add back to it. Instead, since it's all off by 1, let's add to it 97 instead of 96. So let's push plus 97 right here, and let's see what happens. All right, 102 for F. Is that what F is? It surely is, but what's the important one? This Z. Is Z 122? And it sure is. Now we're looking good. So now all we got to do now is change this back into character codes. So to do that, we're going to wrap this whole thing up in parentheses, just like that. Is that too many parentheses? Do we need this parenthesis? Yeah. Do we need this parenthesis? Maybe not. Let's take that one out. Test it. Okay, still looks good. All right, good. So we're going to put it back into character code form. We're going to use this string.fromCharCode method, which returns a string created from a specified sequence of UTF-16 code units, all right? So when we do that, we're going to come over here and we're going to say string.fromCharCode, all right? Let's bring this back up so we can make it look a little better. Bring this down and then this one down, all right? Now let's see what it looks like. F, Z, C, 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 A, D. Looks like we're good. All right, so that looks nice. Let's take care of this console.log, get it out of here for us. And now let's test it out one more time. Looks good. Attempt it. Looks good. All right, now let's submit it. All right, and as you can see, it's pretty much the same as this. Just different letters. We say prev and cur instead of A and B. But that's basically it. This one's using a list of letters. I mean, we could do that, but I don't know. That's a lot of typing. Plus, you know, I just think that manipulating the UTF-16 codes is a little slicker, a little cooler, in my opinion. So that's what I'm into. Let's go over here to mine. Just me right there. Let's go to best practice here. Very much like this, and we'll see you next time.